to one and all. Good evening to the dignitaries on the dais. Madras Chamber of Commerce, as you are aware, constitutes members from various disciplines of industries, from manufacturing to IT to service sector to pharmaceutical sector and etc. etc. These bodies are represented by the respective
MCCI
members, and they meet monthly once, rather we meet once in a month. On that General Council meeting, it was discussed and deliberated, and the thought was put forward to our President, Sri TTS, stating that one sector, the logistics sector, which supports all the other sectors, the manufacturing, the information technology, pharma, etc., needs to be revisited in terms of the facilities and the difficulties they go through. And then we had, on behalf of the Logistics Committee headed by Sri J. Krishnan, we had requested our President to consider undertaking a survey, undertaking a study to understand the difficulties and the current scenario of the industry. It was immediately accepted, and the President gave a go-ahead, and that took us to the next step. I thank, on behalf of the committee, Sri TTS for sanctioning this study, and that took us to the next step of asking a professional concern to undertake this study, where no partisan views are expressed. So we gave this job to a professional company, and they did this whole study, and which has come out in the form of a booklet today. So this journey started 6 months back, and we are on the curtains of the journey, rather end of the road of the journey alone. As the topic itself says, development of ports, which is going to be a continuous process. It is not going to be the end of today or end of tomorrow. We are looking at, even the study talks about only the next 10 years. We are looking at something beyond that. So it is going to be a continuous process. But we thank the Chamber, we thank the consultancy group who have done this study. It has thrown up some interesting and thought-provoking statistics and details which would help the policymakers to undertake the corrective measures or whatever needs to be done. Having deliberated throughout the day on various issues by the service providers, by the stakeholders, by the owners of the facility, I am not going to dwell upon that. As told by Sri Srikanth, we thank Honorable Speaker once again for taking his time off and honoring us with his presence this evening. As he rightly corrected us, saying from the last 2 decades he's been actively involved in updating himself and keeping himself abreast on the developments in and around these areas. We thought it fit that a right person is required, and that is what we done and we chose, and he accepted. We thank you again, sir, once again. We thank Mr. Srikanth, who has readily accepted, and he shared his expertise in designing this event for today, and he also steered the event from morning to evening. We thank the Madras Chamber's office bearers, as it is said in Tamil, oru kodu podunga road potrund. That's what we did, both of us as committee's representatives. We just told them from Mrs. Saraswati to Mr. Shankar Narayan, to be specific, and the other team members. They did a wonderful job. They've done a great job. As I rightly said, this is not of today. It's a journey of 6 months. And I thank the sponsors, associate sponsor Karikal Ports and the lead sponsor Port of Antwerp. I thank all the panelists and the speakers who have and who had readily accepted our invitation to come and participate and share their opinions and thoughts. It will go a long way when we put it together and share it with all the necessary and concerned people in the departments. We thank the media for coming in large numbers and covering this event. It will also help us to reach the numbers, the critical mass. Finally, we thank the participants. Without you, this would not have been a meaningful get-together, because ultimately it has to percolate to the members and member-related members. Thank you one and all. Good evening.
Yes, sir.
Thank you very much. Thank you all of you. We will now break for tea before calling it a day, please.